Howdy, howdy, everyone. This is Sharon for another Stuff Carry You Nuggets. And so remember to like and share. Remember to turn on your notifications so that you will know when these Stuff Carry You Nuggets are on. Because just like life, we never know what time or when something will unfold. And also remember to subscribe so that you will have access to all these self-care you nuggets, because again, these things are life hacks. There are things that make you go they're to give you insight, but above all is so that you can have that insight, you can have that self-query so that you can make changes in your life, because these are things that I have used or others have used that have been successful. And remember, one thing that I will say, continue to shine, but shine and make movements, because it's all in the actions to make your life propel in the direction that you want to go. And it also kind of helps you maneuver, which leads into our topic for today, self care you taking the next step. And that's what self care is all about. It's about you taking the steps that you need, even sometimes you may not want to. And I know a lot of times, like for individuals who may experience depression and anxiety, that those, especially clinical depression and anxiety that reaches on the level where it's, diagnosable, because we all have some level, I would say, of both of these things at some point in our lives. And one of the things with Self Cure You, with me, that when it comes to, there's so much stigma when it comes to the diagnosis, but when you really look at yourself, you can look at someone who is close to you as well. There is some point in all of our lives, it doesn't matter who we are. I like to say degreed or not, meaning someone who went to college and got a degree. It doesn't make anybody on a higher or lower level. It's just that no matter what job that you have, what position that you have, we all experience some type of life altering event, some type of experience that make you go, ooh, that can numb you. We all, if we haven't experienced it yet, thank God. For those of you who haven't, like for me, I feel like I experienced some things in my life later on in life. And so I kind of get what Oprah says, like, really? Really? And I'm going to say this too, that when you have not experienced something, don't think you get a pass, because it doesn't give you, you're not able to bypass it because you don't have the life experiences. You think you may have handled things, maybe, but just like the rest of us, it's almost like if I have a life experience of something, let's just say a breakup. Most individuals have experienced some type of breakup, whether it's from just a partnership, whether it's marriage or divorce, or whatever it may be. Like I say, if you're an adult, even as a teenager, you've experienced some type of breakup. But sometimes it can be one of those breakups that really, 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 woo, I just say it's a hard breakup sometimes. Not the breakup in and of itself, but the impact. I always want to say that the impact that it has on you. And I had one of those breakups in my life. And I would say that at that particular time, I would consider that to be later on in my life. And so, just in saying that, I really do feel like because of everything, it wasn't because it was the person or anything like that per se, but I think it's the dynamics that goes into relationships, and how we look at ourselves, where I was with myself. Because at that particular point, I have not done any work because life has been great for me. And see, that's the key that we that's a false belief. That's a myth that we may think when we had not experienced something that we're good to go. And this is another reason why I'm a big advocate, why I'm a self-care authority of here educating you guys, because of the fact what I realized within myself, and I've seen it in others as well, is that when we had not experienced something, when we do experience it, even if it is later in life, because just because you're older, it doesn't mean that you're wiser. You become wiser by experiencing certain things and be able to overcome it and be able to work through it. And because there were certain aspects of myself I just hadn't touched. There's no, and then a lot of us are like that. And there's no right or wrong, because you've heard me talk about it before. There's just certain parts of ourselves we can't even touch until we have certain experience, because we don't even know. I mean, how would I have known that with those things that have come up? I would have never known. And you have heard me say, even to this day, yeah, there are certain parts of myself I sure didn't realize that was there. And it's not good or bad per se, but it is those parts of ourselves that could be an insecurity, it can be inadequacy, and it is those things that can allow you to be stuck. And you're like, okay, Sharon, what does that have to do with taking the next step? Taking the next step is no matter what is going on in your life, you have that goal, that future, whatever it is that is your vision, the vision that you have for yourself. Sometimes, a lot of individuals, especially if you have a spouse and you have children, you're able to hold that vision for them. But then, even sometimes, then when things are hard, people can lose that vision. So, this is why it's so important to have the vision for yourself. But let me tell you something, no matter what is going on in your life, you take the next step. No matter what is going on in your life, you get up, you stand up, and you move. It's not just a matter of making decisions and choices, it's the actions that you put in front of it, behind it, and through it, so that you can move the needle, so that things can learn. And the other thing is, a lot of times people say, oh, yeah, you did that thing and you made a mistake. For whatever reason, I guess you could say one of my pet peeves, I never look at life as a mistake. Even though there are certain parts of it, I'm like, gosh, I really wish that did not happen, because with certain decisions, one day that one decision could have been the most magnificent thing that could have ever happened to you. And then on another day, it just didn't. We've all experienced that at so many different levels. Some things are really big where it may impact our lives a whole lot. And then some days, some things may not be as that much of a big deal, meaning that it may not. But the main thing I want you to know is that you got it. You can do it. You may not feel like it. Go listen to me. Go to my YouTube channel, because that is the place where you will find all of these self-care nuggets, self-care you nuggets. And then at one time it was named conscious sharing moments. And then one time it was conscious sharing. It was conscious sharing moments for a long, long time. Then I'm like, you know what? It's still about the conscious, but it's all about you taking care of yourself. And so when you think about self-care, yes, I like to say, yes, it is about the hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. I love chocolate. It is about the hot chocolate. It is about the massage. It is about the manicure and the pedicure. It is about all of that. And it's about all of that, because the biggest investment you can have within yourself, you want to be successful, and in order to be successful, is to invest in yourself. It's the things that you learn, is in educating. And one thing I can say, when I look back in my own life, I can say, oh my, because it's not enough just to be motivated and to have inspiration. It's kind of like, what are you doing with, because there are parts of ourselves we don't know everything. That's number one. We don't know everything. You may have heard me say, yeah, I know a lot, but I do not know everything. Now, I am an avid learner. I love to learn. But the one thing, you know what I noticed too? okay, what am I doing with all of this stuff that I'm learning? I can easily give this information to you guys, but what am I doing to take it to the next step? I will say I'm taking it to the next step, but sometimes I may take it a little slower, but sometimes you may need to move a little faster. But whatever pace that you are, and I'm going to say something to whatever pace that you are in place, continue to move. Now, I know a lot of times we'll say, well, just take your time and do. No, what I'm going to say about that, that can be true, but there are times, there are moments in your life you need to move right now. Regardless of how you feel, something catastrophic could have happened, and you may need to make a decision. And this is why all of these the self care pillars is so important so that you can get yourself together, so you can ground yourself, you can center yourself, so you can make a good choice. You can say, oh, I'm not in a mindset, and especially for individuals who have a family, sometimes you don't have time for that. Sometimes you need to do those things in order for you to take care of others as well. Does it mean that you're putting others in front of yourself? But when you have someone who's dependent on you, who can you depend on? And sometimes it may not be another person. Again, the main thing about self-care you is for you to be able to depend on yourself, because believe me, it's just the way that life works. It has nothing to do with no one liking you, no one caring for you, has nothing to do with the universe or God not liking you or giving you a hard time. It is just how life is, that sometimes at the very moment when you feel that you really need somebody's help, you could call 10 people, no one is available. You could call 20 people, no one is available. You could go and see somebody, no one is available. And when I say that, they may not be available for a telephone call, they may not be available for resources. And just think about in your own life, there have been times in your life where you have not been available because you're not even available for yourself. So why would we want someone to be available for us? All I'm saying is, yes, sometimes people can step into our lives, those divine interventions. Definitely, when you recognize that and you see that, take advantage of it. But if you do not have those divine intervention, you are the divine intervention. Always remember that. And that is taking the next step, is to take that deep breath, hold your head up, see your vision, feel your vision, move, get something. And you're like, okay, this is not working out. It will work out. Just know, because the more that I look and see the world and the steps that I'm taking myself, so that there can be greatness all above. I mean, just think about it. If one person can do it, why not you? Put it like this: we all are special. So are you. So take the steps that you need to take care of yourself. Definitely. It's important to rest. It's important to rejuvenate, to restore yourself, so that you can have the fire to get it done. You got this. And so take these self care you nuggets on a daily basis. Go back and look if you need some motivation, because I know that these things are very beneficial. Because I definitely have family and friends, and they're like, oh, yeah, Sharon, I listen to your social media. I see you out there. You're doing a wonderful job. They're so uplifting, and I am so glad. But I will also say, go ahead and like and share as well. Let me know that as well. Go ahead and put something in the comment, because you guys can learn from each other, so that you can move different, so you can take the next step. So what next step are you going to make? Because again, if you have not ever experienced anything, hopefully life will allow that to continue to happen. But one thing that I will say, even when you are older, it does not mean that you bypass, like all of the all of the, I'm just going to say stuff, all of the things that come along with that. No one wants to experience anything negative. Unfortunately, it is a part of life. How much I didn't want to believe that. But it is. But just know that for every experience that you have, it prepares you for that. Really listen. This is where, again, the self care pillars come into place, especially that self awareness. But this is where the centeredness, balance, and that deep rest, so that you can move, so that you can take actions, because you need the wisdom. You have the knowledge, but you need the wisdom to have the discernment of what next steps that you need to make. And there's no mistakes. It's just, hey, another opportunity. It's something about you, of how you can maneuver the world. So just know that you got this. And if the next step is for you to make a call, to make an appointment to see a therapist, to connect with a life coach, a mindset coach, with a physical therapist, with a personal trainer. And I'm naming all of these things because everyone need different things in their lives, especially to get you moving. And so whatever that is for you, because my thing is, you have the power of choice. You have the power to do what you feel that is needed. Sometimes you may not know exactly what you need, but you know you need something. And so lift yourself up and know that you got this. Take the next step. And just by you watching this video here, you've already taken the first step. So, congratulations. I'll see you next time on Self Care U Nuggets.